Question. Recovery of the muscles are part of healing or there are separate processes? Okay. I'm going to assume he means there's the muscular recovery of the actual muscle tissue itself. So building upon the muscle cell. So reinforcing it with bigger, stronger, faster structures. Then there's also the part which is the neurological side. So, for example, we know if we wake up tired in the morning, we don't have any go in us, we might be ridden with excess stress hormones. We might not be recovered. We might then use our measures such as grip strength. So you might, if you know, for example, you can always squeeze something that hard every morning, and some mornings it's not quite there, you know, you don't feel so much, you've got as much up and go, then perhaps at that point you might say, okay, my recovery in that regard is not very good. I know Zbignev's had a tremendously difficult time recovering from his recent leg workouts. I believe it's taken him like 6 days to start to feel his legs like back to somewhat normal state. So I'm guessing that's the muscle soreness side, which is probably just the muscle fibers itself. You can also look at your other workouts. So, for example, if someone is doing, if we take Jerome, for example, he might be doing push-pull legs over, say that's over a week, you know, just hypothetically. He might have really sore leg muscles, but then he might also gain strength across the board in all 3 of his sessions in a given week. That means his muscle cells are rebuilding themselves, perhaps not to a hasty state that he might like, but he's building those neurological pathways to improve his strength and power output. So there's different processes that go along with it. Now there's probably not just 2, there's probably more. So Jerome might be able to expand on that a bit better than I can. What do you think, Jerome?
I'm guessing a bit here. My understanding is, and this kind of a multifaceted question, it depends which metric we're looking at to kind of identify whether something is, you know, recovery or healing. If I recall correctly, I think for most people, muscle protein synthesis levels tend to go back to baseline about 48 to 72 hours after you're done exercising a certain muscle group. But there are certain inflammatory markers that can stay elevated for, at least a week, sometimes longer. I will find an article to substantiate that. And I know right where it is, but I can't think of the name of the article offhand. It also reminds me, like with this question, it's often speculated that there are multiple mechanisms at play that kind of trigger muscle growth in the first place: metabolic stress, mechanical tension, or even microtrauma. And I think microtrauma used to be more of the mainstream narrative around lifting weights. You cause small little tears in your muscle fibers, and then your body has to heal them. I think most people are generally moving away from that position. I haven't seen as many people reporting that recently. So it's a tough question. I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. The way that I generally approach recovery is if I still feel sore, or if I wake up in the morning, like Jonathan was saying, and I feel a little bit off, I just have some kind of more generalized systemic fatigue, then I will take that day as a recovery day, and I'll really listen to my body. Because even if my legs are capable of exerting the same or greater workload or force output on my next workout, if something else doesn't feel right, or I just feel like I'm not fully recovered based on a number of variables, then it makes me think whatever that mechanism is, I'm probably still better off taking another day and waiting until that feels like it's recovered. So I apologize. I know it's kind of a vague answer, but I guess I really don't know how else to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's still a solid answer.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sophie?
I think it's the same as you, really. Kind of, as Jerome said, you listen to your body. Like, I obviously woke up this morning feeling like rubbish, and then was going to do like an in-the-house workout because it was chucking it down, and I didn't want to be outside making myself even more ill. But then I got back from doing the food shop and taking you to the gym, and I was like, I just don't have the energy to do it, and I ended up having like a 10-minute nap on the sofa, which is unlike me because I've got the kids running around.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see you Asleep on the sofa, like,